All right, welcome back. It's Thursday, March 26th, 2009, 11:23 p.m. As I posted yesterday, sorry about the I missed a few episodes. Under the weather and have a lot of PC issues. Still having some PC issues. So tonight there will not be any overlays or graphics or anything like that. But we need to get these cases covered. So we're going to continue without that. I have on with you tonight Deborah, Troy, and Kevin. Thank you guys for being on tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, you're welcome. Deborah, we have 3 cases to cover, and one of the cases is a pretty popular case, Madeleine McCann, which would be case 347. But before we get those cases started, we do have case number 391, Stepanie Elizabeth Condon. Unfortunately, was located. I guess about a week or so ago. I think the results did come in that it's determined that is her. Can you give us some more information on that?
Yeah, Stepanie Elizabeth Condon, and this is a case that was reviewed last week.
Yeah,
it was a case that was up for review, so we went over this case and discussed it at that point. But Stepanie, she had been missing since October 30th of 1998. And she was missing from Myrtle Creek, Oregon, and she was babysitting her cousin's twin 2-year-old children at the time. And there had been a suspect. In fact, there was photos of him, his truck, the gun he supposedly sold after she went missing, and those things are posted in the case file and in the forum. That person that was a suspect for all these years, Dale Wayne Hill. He's in jail now on unrelated charges, and they're officially calling him a suspect in Stepanie's death, the death of the babysitter. She was 14 years old at the time, and it looks like her family had some closure. I don't know if you can really call it that. This is really sad and upsetting, but it's better than not knowing. But her body was discovered, her remains were discovered on March 13th by a guy that was out walking, and it was found by logging trails in Oregon. And through dental records, they identified the remains to be Stepanie, and yesterday the news came out that it was for sure her.
Okay, and that's another thing. I mean, it was really odd that we had just covered that case, and then 3 or 4 days later, the news came out like that. I actually seen the case. It was front news of I have America Online. It's actually on the front page. And I was actually a little shocked. Not that what had happened, but actually the timing of it. It does seem like a lot of times that when we do cases or review cases, the person is found. Unfortunately, she was not found alive. In going back, we did a little bit of research as far as the dream drawings that were done on April 25th of 2007. Some of the stuff does seem to match. I have an image of the suspect, murderer, that I drew back in April of 07. And to me, it does look like the picture of him. There's some other information on here that still confirming, but it does look like this may be actually these dream drawings may be correct. And unfortunately, it does state in the dream drawings that she was murdered. And we don't know the exact area she was located in, or nor if she was buried or not, do we?
That I do not know as far as the exact area.
And we know the
get a general area.
Right.
For her.
Okay. I do have a link to the to a news station, the actual a map. It's an interactive map, but it doesn't really show too much. As far as I know, I don't know the condition or circumstances of where the body was found. Again, this really sad stuff, but it happens. There's some sick people out there in the world. The website is Find Stepanie Now. If you guys want to pay your condolences or whatever, I believe it's still up and operational. That really is really weird that we cover a case and then all of a sudden somebody's found. And I remember the Sean Herbeck case and probably 12 or 13 other ones that tend to be like that. The good thing with Sean, though, he was found alive. So anyways, moving on. Current Amber Alerts. Haleigh Ann Marie Cummings, case number 673. We were discussing this before we started recording. somebody in the chat room sent us some information. I posted that up there. It has something to do with a reenactment of a crime scene. Reenactment of the crime scenes are nothing new, but generally I think they're done by law enforcement or somebody that legally are connected with the case. And this particular circumstance, I think it was some bounty hunter or whatever. Deborah, what do you know on this?
There was information posted in the forum regarding the reenactment. Now, there's a bounty hunter that prefers to be called Cobra as his name, who is working not for one side or the other, but for the good of locating Haleigh. And Misty backed out on doing the reenactment of the night that Haleigh went missing. And there was a lot of drama associated with it, fighting with Ronald, and some details, the Jerry Springer type details of her lifestyle did emerge. That Misty was possibly sleeping with someone else and that type of thing. And it was also stated in this the audio, and then there's also a text transcript of that. Ronald making the claim that the reason he married Misty is because she's the one tied to Haleigh, because she was in charge when Haleigh went missing. So they had a big fight. Misty backed out of the reenactment. Now, I don't understand that, because if she has nothing to hide, she's telling the truth, that type of thing. Doing a reenactment of when Haleigh went missing at the scene is a really good way to try to get information, put pieces together, and possibly get Haleigh home. And she doesn't want to do it. So I guess the way I feel right now, based on what I'm reading, is people need to fess up. They really do, and tell the truth. And give all information, full disclosure.
Okay, looking at this case, I think I can about tell you what I think may have happened. Misty, I think may have had a boyfriend in Jacksonville, Florida, possibly. And I don't think, like I said, I don't think she was at the house at the time Haleigh went missing. Looking at here, I still don't. As far as there was one. The last dream drawing did mention something with death, and I hope that's not true. But yeah, it's definitely she's lying, and I think that somebody else is lying too. And I do think that the family does suspect something. In looking at the dream drawings and everything, it keeps saying that she's been found, and I'm just wondering if maybe she has been found now, and there's a reason why we don't know. And I hope she's found alive, but maybe that has something to do with this. I don't know. I know this case is getting a lot of attention, a lot of Jerry Springer type of theatrics. You say that she doesn't want to do this reenactment. Well, look who's asking to do the reenactment. So I don't know. She should. I guess if everybody else agreed to do the reenactment, she should. But I wouldn't put too much weight on that. But yeah, it is suspicious. I'm wondering why a bounty hunter can take control of an investigation, though, if that's law enforcement.
Well, he is in contact with law enforcement. In fact, after all of this information went down, because when Misty wouldn't show up, he sat and had iced tea with Ronald. And Misty continued to call Ronald on the cell phone. And he was listening to those calls.
Right.
Cobra, the bounty hunter was too. And based on Ronald's behavior, his past, possibly having a temper, and everything that was going on surrounding this, afterwards, Cobra ended up contacting all the law enforcement and having a wellness check done at their residence, because based on the activity between Ronald and Misty, he was afraid that something could happen, that Ronald could lose his cool, and it was stated by him, blow her head off. So authorities went to perform a wellness check, but from what I can see, Cobra is working with law enforcement, and yes, you say that law enforcement should do a reenactment. We don't know for sure that they haven't.
Okay.
I think there's a lot we don't know on this case.
I think there's a bunch we don't know.
She's not cooperating with law enforcement either at times.
Okay.
She walked out on speaking with a detective the day before they got married.
Okay.
Claiming the detective was rude, and it was one that she didn't normally talk with. Now, I'm sorry, but a kid is missing. You don't just get up and march out on the investigators. You try to help.
I'm going over the dream drawings. I'm just looking here. I'm just going to review them real quick. The first one was February 10th of '09. When did she go missing? The same day, right?
February 10th.
Okay. That's when it
came out.
It says mother was going to take her from school. She called but hung up. Mom's boyfriend. Grandfather, Jacksonville, Florida trailer. Check call to school. 29. Next one says $175,000. No. Always wears red. That's when we get the map of Jacksonville, Florida. Next dream drawing was done February 11th. Next day. Red. She is safe. Police not reporting. Note. Safe in police custody. 2X. No trespassing sign. Red. Police withholding facts. Do not fall for plot. 27 miles. Check phone calls. Father knows. Girlfriend's lying. SP. That means spelling error. Not in the same bedroom. Not in home. 2:13 a.m. smoking. I think that not in home and 2:13 smoking, which would be 2:13. More likely that's 2:13 in the morning. Smoking means something significant. The next one says they cleaned the trailer. We discussed that, Deborah, a little bit before. What did we come up with? I really don't remember.
We've had the cleaning the trailer play out now recently, Brian, since we've had a show last. Once it was cleared and they were allowed to go back in the trailer, this is the only reference I have to cleaning the trailer. You know, you have to figure that in addition to it being a wreck in there to begin with, as most people think it probably was, that, you know, the house was not kept the way it should be. When investigators go through there, you know, and they have the home locked down for several weeks after Haleigh going missing, when they let them back in, they're going to have a bigger mess from them investigating. Well, before they let there be a tour done of their home and of Haleigh's room and that type of thing, it was all cleaned up. And people are talking about that cleaning the trailer thing, and, you know, that's the only reference I have found so far.
Okay.
You know, they did a really good, thorough cleaning before showing the inside of the home.
Okay. Next dream drawings, Jacksonville trailer, 29, family knows. Tracks are behind home. 10 meets 301, parked by RR Junction, which is Railroad Junction. We did find that location. That location is posted on the map. Then we did show number 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25. And then some information posted here. Did a show with Gail, show number 27. And then on February 28th, Haleigh found tomorrow, March 2nd, news breaking, or news breakthrough. As far as I know, there were no news that was a breakthrough in this case at that point. March 1st, 09, it says Haleigh has been found, plot failed, which is the same thing that was mentioned before. Police have 3 confessions in the number 311-261147. Then we did show 28, 29, 31, 37. Next dream drawing after that was on March 17th of 09. This is the recent one. It says 26114. Haleigh's body has been found. She went to Jacksonville. She confessed. Plot failed. Unfortunately, that's the one where I think that Haleigh might not be alive. But I want to stress that's the only thing I have on there that Haleigh may not be alive. And that's the only one so far that I have on that one. We've done a lot of work on this case, and I think that actually, Deborah, I don't know what to think. I think that this case is getting a lot of attention, like it should, but there's other cases that need just a lot of attention. Okay?
I completely agree with that.
Okay, so that said, we're going to case number 391. No, I'm sorry. No, we're not. We just discussed that. Case number 393, which is Roxanne Paltauf. The case... Oh, what was that? What's all the noise?
I turned my mic on.
Okay, can we turn it off? Okay. Sorry, guys. The case was requested to be opened on March 16th of 2007 by I'm not sure who, but I got the case open on April 27th of 2007. Deborah, information for Roxanne, please.
This is for Roxanne Elizabeth Paltauf. She's been missing since July 7th, 2006 from Austin, Texas. Her date of birth, January 3rd, 1988. She was 18 when she went missing. She would be 21 years old right now, 5 feet 4 inches tall, 115 pounds, Caucasian female, light brown hair, green eyes. She has double pierced ears and a pierced navel. She has a mole on the right side of her neck and a quarter-size scar on her left knee. She has a previously fractured nose, and one of her upper front teeth is false. Her nickname is Roxy. And some of the missing persons agencies spell her last name Paultauf instead of Pal. So you will see it both ways depending on where she's listed. She was last seen wearing a pink or peach-colored tank top, light blue shorts, and flip-flops that day. It was about 8:30 in the evening when she was last seen at a Budget Inn hotel in the area of Interstate 35 and Runberg Lane, Rundberg, in Austin, Texas. She checked into the hotel with her boyfriend to celebrate their second anniversary together, and she was planning on spending a few days with him there. They ended up having an argument, and she left very angry, and she was only carrying her ID. The boyfriend tried to follow her, and she told him to leave her alone, and he went back to the room. About 20 minutes later, he went out looking for her, and he couldn't find her. She'd never been heard from again. The next day, the boyfriend spoke with her mom, with Roxanne's mom, and Roxanne's mom reported her missing. Roxanne left behind all of her personal items, including her clothing, shoes, purse, her cell phone, which is not normal for her. And I think for a lot of people in general, and especially for women, there's things that you don't leave behind when you go anywhere. Like your purse, your phone, that type of thing. The boyfriend returned the phone back to her family on July 12th. There had been over 300 calls made on Roxanne's cell phone between July 8th and July 12th when it was in the boyfriend's possession. Lots of those calls were made to the boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, and this is an important part, Brian, because I noticed this mentioned in your RV. The boyfriend's ex-girlfriend lives in New Mexico. She claims that she didn't answer any of these phone calls, but the phone records show that there were several conversations ranging from 1 minute to 49 minutes in length. Roxanne's family says that she's responsible and devoted to her 4 younger siblings. She was studying for her GED at the time that she went missing, and she wanted to be a fashion designer. Her mom believes there was foul play. There's really not a lot to go on in this case, and it's unsolved at this point.
Okay, I noticed something. I'm getting an echo again. Testing. I gotta fix this. Can you hear that echo?
I've heard it a little bit, but
okay.
Not really bad.
I can hear it.
Like, can everybody? Is everybody muted except for Deborah?
I have everything else muted.
Yeah, no. Okay. Test. Okay. The case was done on the night of April 27th, 2007. What I wanted to make a note of is that looking at this, the mother of actually had asked me to do another RV on this, and I said I'd do it tomorrow, and nothing was done. So we need to get this one done. So you want me to do this tonight, Deborah? I have those other cases.
That would be a good idea.
Okay. That's what I wanted to get out. Anyways, the drawings from April 27th of 2007 says, the first one says they had fight over baby. He told her he would take her to. He told her he would take her to Mexico. Abortion. He strangled her. Blue sign pawn. Imagine that's a pawn shop. Next dream drawing says no bumping fine. Parked here. Mexican restaurant 117. He took her body to New Mexico, 2 miles from where his family lived. 229 New Mexico. Troy, you're sending me some maps?
Yes.
Okay.
So a Mexican restaurant I found that has this 117 in the address.
Okay. Thank you.
There was
Okay. I got the maps Troy sending me. Thank you, Troy. I know you did some work on this earlier. We're going to get those. I'm going to get those maps up right now as we're talking. Unfortunately, Deborah, I was looking at the dream drawings just to look for the normal signs I see if somebody's deceased or not. That's not there, but it did say, what it says it took body. So I'm assuming that she's not alive, unfortunately. But if I told her mother that I'd get it done and I didn't do it, I'm really sorry about that. Well, I am going to get it done. Troy, let me get these pictures up here real quick. Okay, there's one. Any other comments on this case, Deborah?
Not really, except that, you know, like you said, you're sorry that it hadn't been done, and you will do a review on that as soon as possible. I'll give it to you for tonight.
Okay.
And see if you can come up with something else. And, you know, as far as your translation, I've seen this in cases that you did a while ago, where we may not see some kind of symbol on your dream drawings, but then when you give like a translation, aside from what is shown on the dream drawing, sometimes you mention something there. So I think by redoing it, there may be a better indication. You know, if we see one of your symbols on there or whatever, but, you know, normally you have a symbol there if you think something's happened to someone.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the data, but I mean, I was doing symbols back then too. I just wasn't exactly, I think, sure what they meant. That's why I was looking at that. But just the wording in the dream drawing does not make me believe that that she is alive. Like I said, unfortunately.
Well, the area that she went missing from, that Runberg Lane, is not a good area from what I've seen. In fact, since she's gone missing, there have been people in the community that have been doing things to try to make that area safer, with the thought of taking back Runberg Lane from bugs or, you know, gangs, drugs, whatever is going on in that area, which is probably a mixture of all of it. So she went missing from an area that's not exactly great or ideal, and the community is trying to make it safer at this point. Okay. Too bad that wasn't done beforehand.
Right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm waiting on the computer again. It's not responding. Okay, we're good. Okay, Troy. Thank you again. I've got all those. I've got 2 maps and 2 pictures, I believe. Cool. Okay. Let's move on then. Okay, and then this is case number 347. It actually wasn't even a case until I found out what was going on. At that point, I believe it was dream drawing 5441, which was let me get in here, which was actually done on May 3rd of 2007. Like I said, this was a dream drawing that was done. It was just a regular dream drawing posted in that night's dream. What it says is safe 3272 tennis court 6217 road 125 Madeleine F Faro Faro Villa Mora. It's VILAMURA here. No pay or murder. Check the mail. She was with VA. They wanted a child. 7704227. McCann safe OCSBR. Without a doubt, I can tell you this is related to the Madeleine McCann case. That's why I opened it as a case such as. I want to stress that I did not know about the Madeleine case until May 5th, when somebody had wrote to me about Madeleine being missing. With these details, there's no doubt this dream drawing was definitely related to the Madeleine McCann case. That said, I opened a case which was actually case 3. I believe it was 347. So the DD5441 actually turned into case 347, Madeleine McCann. Deborah, real quick, can you give us some information on what happened with Madeleine?
Well, I'll get some vital statistics for her, and a little information. You know far more about this case than I do, with the hundreds of hours you've put in on it.
Yeah, I'd say 1,000 hours, but go on.
Probably, I believe it. There's 30-some pages there.
Yeah, there's 33 pages of dialogue, literally thousands and thousands of emails that I actually responded back to, and probably 30 or 40 separate dream drawings done on this case. But go on. Go ahead.
Okay, Madeleine, her date of birth is May 12th, 2003. She's been missing since May 3rd, 2007. She was 3 years old at the time that she went missing, turning 4 the week after. She has green eyes, blonde hair, a Caucasian female, approximately 2 feet 11 inches at the time that she went missing. She's missing from Prairie de Luz in southwest Portugal, and the parents were on holiday there, and at the time that she went missing, and she was in the hotel sleeping while they went out to dinner, which was not really far. Apparently, it was, you know, adjacent to where they were staying there at the resort. But when they went back to check, Madeleine was missing. However, the siblings were still there. This case, you know, bothers me as far as, you know, that the parents think that they can go anywhere at all and leave their child unattended. Maybe they felt, you know, she was safe or whatever, but, you know, this proves that it wasn't. I think, too, you know, with the things that I've seen on this case, law enforcement has not, you know, done all the things. I think if it happened in America, it might have played out differently. And I'm not trying to point fingers at parents or law enforcement or anything like that. It's just a really sad, sad situation. And I know exactly where you're sure that she is. And I hope that to be the case, and I hope her to be recovered soon.
Yeah, thank you. I cannot tell you how frustrating this has been over the past, 3 years doing this stuff. The law enforcement, the system, the network, whatever system's in place down in Praia de Leste in Portugal is corrupt. There's no doubt about it. If you do a little research on it, they take bribes. They smuggle drugs. It's a hotbed for human smuggling, human trafficking, and they don't give a damn. There's a lot of other things dealing with how women are treated over there. You can smack around your wife, and it's cool. It's okay with them. If you don't do what they say, they'll put you in jail. Sex crimes against children, a lot of times are gone unnoticed or unpunished. They don't care. That said, I believe Kate and Gary McCann went and took their children down to, I believe, the Ocean Club Resort down in Praia de Leste, Portugal. The town is Praia de Leste is a tourist town. They derive all their income from tourism. Most of the tourists come from the UK, the United States, and throughout Spain and a couple other countries. That's where all their money comes from. The parents took their children there because it was advertised as a child-friendly environment. They made a mistake. We all know they made a mistake. The biggest thing that they did wrong was not admit their mistake. They are both successful doctors. They have egos like everybody else. They should have dropped those egos and admitted, hey, we made a mistake. What can we do to help? Because not doing that is getting the people against you instead of with you that could be helping you look for your daughter, because she was taken. Despite what everybody thinks or whatever, I can guarantee you she was taken. And she's taken by somebody you met in a bar. And that person would be Robert Murak and his friends and associates. I believe what happened is they went down there. The McCanns, I believe Gary met Robert Murak in a bar. I believe it's called the Tapas Bar. I don't think that the McCanns or anybody has denied that or confirmed that. This guy works with a guy named Sargente. Sargente is a Russian. He's a Russian pornography dealer. And what do we say about Russians, or the Russian system right now? There are no laws against child pornography in Russia. Okay, they take whatever they can get. I'm telling you, the guy was caught with child pornography on his computer, and we proved it. There's 33 pages here of some really, really important details that show without a doubt that Robert Murak, Sargente, his girlfriend, the menage a trois, whatever they had, sick stuff going on down there, it's all in the case files. Please read it. I'm not going to discuss it again because it's really frustrating, having all this information, having dream drawings before it even happened, and then have nobody really listen to you. The Portuguese police, not all of them, are corrupt as well. They do not want a child being abducted from a tourist town. It's not that don't want it to happen. They covered it up. They cover up stuff like that all the time. There are other cases of children being abducted where the mother, you'll see this, where the mother was actually beaten into confession. That's proven. A member of the Portuguese police was actually caught taking photographs of Madeleine McCann before she went missing. Why is that? Okay, unless he's doing something crooked. Madeleine McCann was a cute little girl that went down there. Didn't look like the other kids. She was a prime target. Robert Murak followed, met the McCanns. I know that they're not going to admit it. He met the McCanns at that bar. Okay, he speaks English. Okay, he's British. He's got dual citizenship. I know they met. He followed them, and when the time was right, he took her. The McCanns know they did wrong. Okay, yeah. First he said it was 50 yards away. It doesn't matter if it's 5 feet away. If you can't see your kids, you know you're supposed to. You're supposed to have somebody watching them at all times. You don't check on a kid, especially. We all know this. This is the main downfall I think would happen in this case, because you're getting everybody against you. Now the Portuguese police can blame you, and guess what? They did. They blamed you. Okay, it's completely ridiculous, and I don't know. But anyways, I'm going into too much of this, but. I don't do anything else, Deborah. But okay, I'm just really getting frustrated. But
calm down, Brian.
I know this case frustrates you, Brian, because there's so much work that you've done, and you see where there's problems, and you see where there's details that could bring this to a close, and there's no action being taken. I really think it comes down to, you mentioned the tourism factor, and they try to cover things up. The same thing happens, in Aruba for the Haleigh case, and other places. And I think that had this happened in America, this really would have played out differently. We don't realize, we want to say things about how our system is broken in different ways, but we do have the best system out there. And unfortunately, we also have the best law enforcement here too, as far as corruption or whatever.
Right. Well, it's something that we I guess we take for granted, being United States citizens, British citizens, and a lot. It doesn't happen over there, guys. Please check it out. I mean, look at it. There's so many videos. There's so many reports from from the go to CIA.gov. Look up Portugal. Okay. Look up Russia. Look at all the connections. This guy runs this guy Sargente, the Russian, runs a video shop. Okay. In the back of the video shop, there's pornography, child pornography. The guy was caught with child pornography on his computer. The Portuguese police found out about it, but the Portuguese police aren't involved. They're involved in smuggling and everything else, and they go from Portugal to South America and to wherever else, and they don't care who it is. Remember, it's a commodity, and Madeleine McCann was a commodity. It's a commodity, and what happened is something that's a little or what they did not expect to happen. I think what happened is that. Robert Murak and his friends took Madeleine from that, I guess they call it an apartment. I guess we call it a hotel room on that night. I believe somebody actually knocked on the door and saw that she wasn't there. This guy was following them around. They knew their patterns. They went to this tapas bar every night and got drunk. Point blank, you guys got drunk and left your kids alone. That angers me, but the McCanns did not deserve what had happened to them at that point. If you lose your kid and then get everybody's saying that you killed your kid, or an accident happened, you're covering up. That's not the case. I can tell you without a fact, with a fact. I mean, at least to me, that's not what happened. The children were left alone. Okay, there were the parents actually thought that the Ocean Club Resort, being its child safe friendly thing, they thought that they had nannies. Okay, well, that turned out not to be the case, but the McCanns thought that they did. When they got down there, it was just too late. So what they did is they took turns checking on the children, okay, while they were going out dining at the tapas bar. Okay, we all agree that's wrong, okay, but they did it. Okay, they did this over several nights, and I think on the fourth night, I'm not exactly sure if it was the fourth or fifth night, is when she was taken. She was taken, and I believe that Sargente, Robert Murak, and a few others were planning on getting her out of the town. But what had happened, I believe Kate called the news media. She called the news media, probably, here's how I say, if you're alone in the country and you don't know the people, if somebody took your child, you are going to call CNN, you're going to call somebody you're familiar with. And that she called Sky News, which in the UK it's like CNN here. And she called them, and the Portuguese police said that they did all this stuff. If you guys look at the facts and all the stuff that we have here, I believe that Madeleine McCann was possibly taken out of Paradolets, but she was taken back because of the media attention that's brought to that case. Before Madeleine went missing, nobody thought that when they were going to take her, no one thought of the attention this case was going to get, and it did. And I think that's what possibly saved her from being abducted. Robert Murek lives with his mom. Okay, his mom has a very, very nice house. Underneath this house is a secret compartment. And I believe that that secret compartment is connected to a system of tunnels. We did a lot of research. A lot of people went down there. I know several people that went down there and found this system of tunnels. It goes back to Roman days. There's also a sewer system. There's a lot of tunnels under Pergola that people, only people that live there know about it. Even some of the people that live there don't know about it. What I'm saying is there's really no need to know about it unless you plan on smuggling drugs, and so that's what they do. At certain periods where the tides are, they can actually smuggle drugs out, and they do it all the time. Portuguese police, the PI, that's what they're. I'm not going to pronounce it because I'm terrible at pronunciation. Either way, they look the other way for trafficking that goes on. It happens all the time. I believe possibly a high-speed speedboat was involved, but it was never used because she was never taken out of the country. I believe that. I know I'm jumping around and that. Basically, Madeleine McCann is underneath Robert Murek's home. I think that she's always been there. At this point, I don't think she's going to be alive. And I hate to say that, but to me, it doesn't make any sense how somebody could still be alive. But and I feel that the McCanns did what they could, but I think they could have done a lot more. And the first thing would be to accept responsibility for what happened, because doing that, your ego turns so many people against you when they could have been for you, and these people you would need to fight the Portuguese police, because the Portuguese police say you did it. The Portuguese police today say that Kate and Gary McCann killed their kid, okay? And you know they didn't do that, okay? And then they say, well, it was an accident. Think about it. If it was an accident, no. It just makes no sense at all. I'm telling you, please read the case files. There's almost 40 pages there. We spent over 1,000 hours doing this, and still no one has searched Robert Murek's home except for when she went missing. And no one has searched from the outside. Nobody from anywhere other than the Portuguese police that had jurisdiction have searched this area. So if the people doing the search are crooked, come on. I mean, it's just so, I don't know, but it's so frustrating because there's nothing you can really do when you have this type of corruption, and corruption goes all the way to the top. I'm just telling you, it goes on over there. It happens all the time. And if you're able to, smack your wife around and molest your children, that's okay. Something's wrong, and that's not put out in the brochure that the Ocean Club Resort puts out. That's all I want to say. Anything else?
Well, the PJ, the police judicia or whatever, the law enforcement there in Portugal. If I remember correctly reading, there's actually been threats made on people if they want to go there searching for Madeleine.
On me too. Matter of fact, this is where a lot of people said, okay, look, I was going to go there and I was going to do all this. I took some money in, and I was threatened several times. Got a few phone calls. That's fine. I don't give a damn about me. I would go there, whatever. You can threaten me all you want. And then I got a legal notice saying as soon as I set foot in the country, I'd be arrested, and it came from a real detective. Okay, so then I gave all the money back, and then all this other crap happened. And I'm sorry. Either way, what am I going to do? Okay, I said I'd go up and knock on the door of Robert Murek, and that's true. Arrest me or whatever. But really, when the people, it's like the fox guarding the hen house. That's what it is. And I don't think that's going to change unless if. I think Pergola is definitely, we know for a fact it's a hub for smuggling a lot of heroin and stuff out of the country and into the country, just because of its geography. We do know that we did a show on human trafficking that's very popular, and even though they don't smuggle too many kids, they do. Okay, please look at all these pages. We've done a lot of research. We have proof that we have actual physical proof. Photos cannot lie. They don't. These are not. You see proof. There's on there. First of all, there's a member of the Portuguese police that was definitely taking pictures of Madeleine McCann. And not only that, this was the same guy that was guarding the same man that was guarding and supposedly taking care of another mother who had a missing child, who was beaten almost to death. We have pictures of that too. Yes, same guy. Okay. Yeah. What's the coincidence? Just look. What I say is just please look at the case, what we have, look at it. Make your own decisions. But the only thing that's going to happen is this is a government decision. This has something. This would have to be something to do with the EU or somebody stepping in and saying, hey, I know there's corruption here, but what can we do to fix it? Because I know not all the Portuguese police can be corrupt. It's impossible. And not too many Portuguese police, with actually knowing, let a little girl die. Okay, there are very few people are capable of doing that, but they will look the other way. You know, we were just hoping that maybe somebody could come forward and say, "Hey, this is what I know." And then we did this whole other thing about how many missing children are there in Portugal, and we found hundreds that weren't reported, and we still don't know why. I can tell you why. The parents are scared to death to say anything. And you really think, well, Portugal, look it up. I'm just saying, the information's there. Please make your own judgment.
Like the kid goes missing there. You say the parents are scared. Well, what happened in the Cipriano case, and what has happened to the McCanns here? If your kid goes missing, they'll throw you in jail for it. Is the way
they'll do more than that. Matter of fact, they actually, when they pulled, look who they pulled in first. They took Kate away because they know. I mean, it's a totally male chauvinistic dominant society. They would have tortured her. Okay, I kid you not. Even being British, her phone call to Sky News may have saved her life. Okay, but everybody thinks, oh well, she called Sky News because she wanted to get the publicity and stuff for her and make money. Bull crap. Okay, they're two well-to-do people bringing their kids down. I mean, never had a history of violence or anything. Okay, and they're doctors. Okay, first of all, let's just rule this out to say that they had nothing to do with their child's disappearance. If it was an accident, they would definitely have done something along the lines of trying to save her life, reporting something or whatever. It's just human nature. You can't avoid that. Okay. I'm gonna stop for now. This is really aggravating. They didn't do it. I think that the only way that something's going to be done in this case is that the Portuguese police or somebody in there comes forward and say, "Hey, this is what I know," and gets protection. If it's really just so much stuff down there that there are so many people in prison right now. I mean, sure, in the United States of America, we lock more people up than anybody else in the world. Okay, but over there, when you go to prison, it's a different story. There's not due process. You could stay in there forever just waiting on something, and you don't want to be a woman. Okay, I'm just saying it's like I said, if you can beat your wife and molest your children, that's okay. Something's wrong with that place. So fix it. That's what I wanted to say. Go. Anything else, Deborah?
No, I think it might be a good idea to stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop because we can do the rest tomorrow. Okay.